Welcome to the Busy Signal. My name is Jim, and this is my retrostalgic 80s, 90s, early 2000s podcast. This show aims to salute all the stuff from back in the day that is now extinct or quickly going that way. Today, episode 2, we salute snacks from the 1980s. I was born in the early 80s, so I have fond memories from my childhood of eating junk food from that decade. Of course, 10 years of snackage would be way too much to cover in one episode. So for this first installment, I'll cover 5. They are in no particular order, so keep in mind that I will definitely be doing more episodes on 80s, 90s, early 2000s snacks. So if you don't hear me talk about your favorite treat from back in the day or want me to mention one that I didn't talk about, let me know at Busy Signalcast on Instagram or busysignalcast@gmail.com. I'm open to suggestions. My goal is to salute all old school junk food delicacies along with remembering all the other rad stuff from back in the day. Number 1, Sunkist Fun Fruit snacks. Some of my earliest memories have to do with lunch. Yes, lunch. Don't judge me. Anyway, 1980s lunches were elevated to a whole new level with the introduction of fruit snacks. I think people thought it was like healthy candy. I mean, they were made from fruit, right? They came in foil-lined paper pouches and were half oval domes, half egg shapes, pill-shaped? Yeah, that. I loved those little gummy pieces, the fruit flavors and the texture, but the potential to cement your mouth shut was real. I mean, sure, that only happened if you dumped the whole pouch in your mouth, but I cannot be the only one to have done that. Does anybody remember the commercial for Fun Fruits? There was a bunch of kids in a foggy forest, a forest full of laughing, smiling fruit trees. The kids would tickle the trees, who would then rain down Fun Fruits on their heads. Honestly, like most things from the 80s, it was pure nightmare fuel. The trees even gave instructions on how to eat the Fun Fruits.
Sunkist Fun Fruits. They're made with real grapes, oranges, cherries, and strawberries. You're supposed to chew them one by one if you can control yourself.
Okay, so apparently I was too distracted by the creepy trees in the dark forest to hear the warning about eating them one at a time. By the way, I thought the dark forest was strictly forbidden to all students. Shout out to anybody who gets that reference. Eventually, Fun Fruits took other shapes other than Advil, and I particularly liked the dinosaur shapes. They were my favorite after the pill-shaped ones. And then, of course, fruit snacks have never gone away since then, but Fun Fruits have. So, I salute the Fun Fruits. Number 2, next up we have Keebler's Magic Middles. Oh boy, those were on a whole nother snacking level. A lot of you may think that these cookies were from the 90s, but they snuck in on grocery shelf stores in 1989. These things were dangerously delicious. Shortbread cookie parcels hiding fudge filling. What more could you ask for in a snack? It was way too easy to eat too many in one sitting. I did a quick internet search, and it shows that I'm not alone in my fondness for the now discontinued confection. There is a petition on change.org for Kellogg, who owns Keebler, to bring them back. As of this podcast, there's no word on them returning, though, which is weird considering the amount of defunct junk food that's being brought back to market in recent years. I'm not sure, like most of these things, when Magic Middles disappeared, but they are gone and missed by many. So much so that copycat recipes are available online. And I'm sure nobody's doing that. So farewell to Magic Middles. We miss you. Okay, here we go. Third on the list, and I'm already bending the rules. Kind of. I'm bending the rules for breakfast cereal. But come on, be honest with yourself. Sugary 1980s cereals were the perfect snackage for any time. Number 3 on this first installment of 80s snacks, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle cereal. I loved all of the fun and bad for you cereals of the 80s and 90s. 1989, yeah, another 1989 snack, is when Mike, Leo, Raph, and Don made their breakfast debut. I was mainly attracted to this because it came with the sickest prize. Shrink wrapped right to the box was a Ninja Turtle shaped bowl. You could collect all 4 turtle shaped bowls. The experience of chowing down on Ninja Turtle-shaped marshmallows and Ninja Net pieces in a half shell was bodacious, although the Ninja Nets looked suspiciously like Chex pieces. I can't remember if I ever collected all four, but I do remember having Raphael. Cowabunga! Number 4, Bonkers. First things first, before I get into this candy, this crazy candy, I just want to point out the power of marketing, because the commercials for Bonkers candy has stuck with me for 30 plus years at this point. As a grade school child, the images of dusty old people eating candy and then having boulderous fruits, if boulderous wasn't a word before, it totally is now, dropped on them, and then going into fits of laughter while still underneath the fruit boulders was hilarious to me as a child. But back to the candy. Bonkers came in a variety of fruit flavors. They were a chew candy, even though they definitely looked like gum, like it could have been a Hubba Bubba gum, which one of the commercials does address that it's not gum, it's chew candy. They had an outer layer that one could have been just a different color, or it was also a different flavor sometimes. There might have been flavor combo ones, but they looked really cool because there was an inner core that was either a different flavor or another color from the outer layer. Visually, it was just really cool. Like apple had a red outside and a green inside. And I remember eventually Bonkers branched out from just fruit flavors and made chocolate chews. And like a lot of things on this list, I have no idea when Bonkers was discontinued. But I did hear rumors about like a dozen years ago that they might have been coming back. So the Webernet says that Leaf Brands bought the Bonkers trademark and brought Bonkers back in 2018. If you rewind this 10 seconds and listen to that sentence, it took me like 20 times to get that tongue twister out. Anyway, I don't recall seeing Bonkers anywhere out in the wild or seeing any advertising announcing the return. So I salute Bonkers with its classic tagline,
Bonkers. Bonks you out.
Some candy.
Number 5. I don't know how much more can be said on my final treat. High C's Ecto Cooler was lightning in a juice box. Right place, right time. High C already had a citrus drink, but rebranded it when they collabed with Ghostbusters. It was iconic. Green juice with Slimer on the package. The orange tangerine flavor was just intoxicating. 80s kids loved Ghostbusters, this kid included, and especially Slimer. I mean, he was gross and lovable and a ghost and provided comic relief in a comedy starring comedy legends. Ecto Cooler was all I wanted to drink as a kid. Then it was gone. Except it wasn't. Slimer disappeared from the label and the drink was renamed Shoutin' Orange Tangerine. And by the time Ecto Cooler was rebranded, I was a teenager in the 1990s, so I had mostly moved on from juice boxes and was really into trying like all the rad sodas available. But I did still need that tempting orange tangerine flavor in my life. And if that drink could be green too, well...
Surge! It's a fully loaded citrus soda with carbos!
But that is a drink for another show, of course. With the new Ghostbusters movies being released in recent years, Ecto Coolers returned a couple times. And as of this episode, another installment of Ghostbusters is due out soon, and I will definitely be on the lookout for another chance to get slimed. Cheers, Ecto Cooler. So that's it for this episode. It has definitely been fun covering what I think is a solid representation of the snacks we had to enjoy from the raddest decade. Sunkist Fun Fruits, Keebler, Magic Middles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle cereal, Bonkers candy, and Ecto Cooler. And as I said in the beginning, these were in no real order. I know I'll go back and do future episodes on more 1980s snackage, and I'll space them out so that the show isn't just about food. And with that said, let me know your thoughts. Did you enjoy these treats as well back in the day, or do you have suggestions of your favorite 80s snacks that you'd like me to salute? You can follow me and let me know at BusySignalCast on Instagram or BusySignalCast@gmail.com. Also, if you know that any of the snacks covered in this episode have been resurrected, hit me up and let me know if you see any of these snacks in the wild. Take a pic and tag BusySignalCast on Instagram. I'll reshare it out there with the webs. We'll spread the word, and I'll also share any of your fun comments or emails on the show as well. So this has been fun, and I hope you had fun just like me in remembering these awesome 80s snacks. Until next time, don't forget, reach out and touch the past.